where the judge is. Where's the calendar? Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. First of all, thank you all for coming. What a great day for the city of Fulton and Fulton County. Again, remarkable to see such a great crowd show up here. Been dreading this day for since about the last 5 months. Prior to the last 5 months, I probably dreaded this day for about 10 years. And anyone other than my family out here know what today is?
Your birthday!
40th birthday, too. But starting 5 months ago when we started working in this progress, and we got further along and got to a date, and all of a sudden March 4th clicked. I thought, man, what a great birthday present. So this is hopefully going to be a great day for everybody. A lot of people that take part in these things, they don't just happen overnight, so I do want to make sure that make mention of some people who kind of helped with this along the way and been supportive in this from the beginning. I'm not going to ask them to stand, but hold your applause and just make mention of them. First and foremost is the board that I work for. It's a dual county board made up of Fulton and Hickman County, and my board members are Greg Grissom, Ken Hutchins, Dan Vogley, David Gallagher, Greg Curlin, Greg Pruitt, Dale Val, Leanne Hobbs, George Frazier, James Coffey, Roger Kephart, and Chris Rogers. Those 12 people work really hard to make sure that we're doing the things we need to do to be able to get to a day like this, so I do appreciate them. Some other boards that have really worked hard to make these things happen is, of course, our Fulton Industrial Development Authority Board, headed by Roger Kephart. We appreciate them. Roger's been a big part of that board for many years and appreciate all that they do. Again, also to the City of Fulton, Mayor Forrester, and the City Commissioners, Jeff Vaughn, David Prater, Bill Milliken, and Martha Val. Appreciate them and what they do to help make this day happen, as well as our City Manager, Cub Stokes, and our dual attorneys, Allison Whitledge and Becky Beaslett, both helping to get things prepared. And again, some things that the governor will probably remark on in a little bit later, but some of our folks had hands in, is our Fulton County Fiscal Court members helping with some incentives and different things. Again, Judge David Gallagher and our magistrates, Henry Callison and James Black, Bubba Nims, and George Jones. Appreciate all that they do and being a partner with making these things happen, as well as our County Attorney, Rick Major. Thanks for what you guys do. Sitting up here with us too, Mark Lindsay with TVA. TVA was a big partner in this program and helping us get this project done. In the state of Kentucky, our Secretary of Economic Development, who couldn't be here, Larry Hayes, and Eric Dunnigan, who we work well with, as well as Jamie Bundren. Jamie's here somewhere today, so appreciate Jamie and all that he does. Some folks too, just kind of mentioning, that just kind of goes unsaid of the things that they do to help make things like this happen. Our Fulton Public Works guys do a great job. They've worked with me in the 5 years that I've been trying to sell this building, and it's kind of been on the market for 7, so we've been trying to sell for 5, and you know, they help maintain this thing, keep it up, and it takes a whole lot. Our Fulton Electric Plant Board, things that they do with us, and our Fulton County Jailer, Ricky Parnell. You may not recognize Ricky. I didn't even recognize him when I saw him, but he and his staff do an amazing job helping to make our job a little easier and making these buildings marketable when companies do come looking to see them. So I appreciate everything that they do as well. And finally, too, our Purchase Area Development staff, Brad Davis, who's here sitting up here, and Marianne Medlock. You probably see Marianne running around here taking pictures, but Marianne's always my go-to person with workforce. She and Sheila Walker and all their bunch, we really appreciate everything that they do to help days like this. Just going down the list real quick, State Representative Steve Rudy, I talked to Steve, he couldn't be here, and Stan Humphreys, our new state senator. We do have Marty Wiles from Senator Mitch McConnell's office here, Rachel McCubbin from Rand Paul's office, and Janice Everett from Congressman Ed Whitfield's office. Always glad to have those here being a part of what we do. One of the partners that I work with too here locally, Holly Holt. I think Holly's in here with our Kentucky Regional Alliance. So appreciate Holly, and as well as our area ED folks that I work with on a daily basis, not only on the projects that we do ourselves, but the ones that we work together and do as a region. So I appreciate all of your help as well. And my wife, Jill, too. Thanks. She's planning me a birthday party later. So anyway, getting to the program, I again wish to thank you all for being here. So many things go into making days like this happen, and you can't just sit back on your hands and wait for things to happen. You have to be ready to go and have product and things like that available. So I appreciate all of you. Now is an honor to welcome a true friend from Western Kentucky. This gentleman was born and raised in Dawson Springs in Hopkins County. He served the Commonwealth in his capacity since 2007. He served in the Kentucky General Assembly as Kentucky Attorney General, Lieutenant Governor, and served his country in the U.S. Army Reserve. He's been married to his wife Jane since 1969 and have 2 children and 3 grandchildren. I wanted to introduce him like this instead of just reading the canned thing that you get off the websites and things like that, because more than just being the governor of the Commonwealth, he's been a friend to us here in Fulton-Hickman County, who I work for. Many times over the last 5 years, I've traveled to Frankfurt and different places for meetings. We've been up to see the governor. We went back last June. There was a group of us, about 8 or 10, that went up and met with the governor and sat down and shared some concerns with him and things that we needed, and just how kind of bad things were going for us down here. And he took the time to come over to the Economic Development Cabinet and sit in on that meeting, which took about an hour and 20 minutes, which very few times has ever happened does a governor sit down in that meeting and participate in it. So I am very thankful of that. And we've got some things coming down that's going to be coming along to help us with that. Not only from that standpoint, on projects that we've worked on, the guys traveled to Europe and back, working for Fulton County and Fulton City and Hickman County, when we have become 1 or 2 communities that are being considered for a project outside of just Kentucky. So I do appreciate that, and wanted to make sure that, we didn't just read the canned spiel of the things that he's done, because this guy has heard these things numerous times throughout the year. So I'll just end and say this. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our friend, our 61st Governor of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, Mr. Steve Beshear.
Eddie, thanks very much. This is an exciting day, folks, and I know you know it, I know it. It's exciting not only for the city of Fulton and for Fulton County, it's exciting for the purchase area, it's exciting for the whole Commonwealth of Kentucky. It's good to be back home. I was born and raised, as Eddie said, in West Kentucky, although being in Hopkins County, I call myself a Western Kentuckian, but you all look at us and say, you're getting closer. You're getting closer, but you're not from the purchase area. Well, I feel like at times I'm from the purchase area because I've been here so much as governor. When I ran, and I hope some of you all remember this, in 2007, I told you that if I was successful, that I was going to make sure that West Kentucky had a seat at the table again. I think there was a real strong feeling that for years, West Kentucky really hadn't been a part of the decision-making process and wasn't sharing like it should in the good things that were happening in the Commonwealth. And I had that same feeling, and I told you then that if I became governor, we were going to start making sure that not only you had a seat at the table, but that you were involved in the decision-making and that we started making some good things happen in West Kentucky. And for the last 5 years, we've been working hard on that. And I'll tell you, when things have happened, I will be the first to admit to you that it's not just Steve Beshear making them happen. Because good things don't happen in areas unless the people in that area come together and work together as a team to make things happen. And that's what's been going on here. Now, it's been pretty tough times. We've all experienced those times. Kentucky and this whole nation has gone through the worst recession of our lifetimes. And you've seen what it's done down here in the purchase area. just as it's done around the rest of Kentucky. A lot of unemployment and things not moving, the economy not growing. Well, we had two choices when I became governor, because that's about when the recession hit us, was in about the first of 2008. And we could either choose just to sit back and hunker down and wait for things to get better, or we could get out and get aggressive and make things better. And so with all those headwinds hitting us, we made that second choice. We said, we're going to be aggressive. We're going to be progressive. And we're going to get people together, and we're going to do everything we're big enough to do to make things start happening in Kentucky. And that was the right decision. And all of us came together and we started pushing, we started shoving, we started doing everything we were big enough to do. To number one, keep the jobs that we already had, and number two, try to create new jobs as we went along. And folks, while it's been a slow process, we're now coming out on the other side of that recession, and things are beginning to move again. And because we were aggressive through that recession, we are in better shape, as tough as it's been. We are in better shape than most states around this country. It's no fluke that just last November, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, who every year rank every state in the union, they found that from October of 2011 to October 2012, Kentucky had the second highest job growth rate of any state in the entire United States. Now that's something to be proud of, particularly during tough times. And that shows the effort that everybody has been making to make things happen. We're thrilled to be here today to make some great announcements regarding the thing that we all know is more important than anything else, and that's jobs. You know, when we got people working, all the rest of our troubles sort of diminish in proportion. Because when all of our people are working, then everybody's paying taxes, that revenue's coming in, the city's got what it needs to do things with, the county's got what it needs to do things with, and I've got the things I need to do to educate our kids and to do the kinds of things long term that it takes for Kentucky to be successful. We started working back in 2008 and continued with folks in this area. And you know, we took steps little by little. Last year, as Eddie mentioned, folks came up and met, and one of the things they talked about was the fact that on exit 2 down here, there wasn't any lighting. And we needed lighting in order to make it more attractive and to have more people coming off and on and to start attracting more business. Well, I'm happy to say that we let that contract, I think. And when is it going to be, Eddie? It was let in November. It's being designed right now, and you're going to get lighting out here on exit 2 of the Purchase Parkway. We've been doing other things to try to get ourselves set up to be able to make things happen. I just flew into a nice 4,000-foot runway out here for this county. Now, my King Air is in the shop. It's got its kind of yearly thing it's got to go through, so I flew down on this single engine. We had to pedal hard to get off the ground in Frankfort. And I left yesterday, but I'm here. And I'll tell you, that's another addition that will pay off for this community and for this county and for this region. Another thing I would say to you is this. You're doing the right thing in working as a region. Having these two counties together and forgetting about your county lines, forgetting about artificial boundaries, and instead trying to make sure that you bring things to this region, to this purchase area, will pay off for everybody. And that's the way things are done these days. It's long since passed that, you know, every single county can do it on its own. You got to come together and work as a group and as a region. Things are hopping now down here in the purchase area. I think you all know, and I see our good friends from over Callaway County way, In the last 3 months, we've announced 2 German companies that are going to be locating in Murray and creating hundreds of new jobs. Things are beginning to happen all over the purchase, and today they're happening right here in Fulton and Fulton County. MVP Group International. They're the world's largest manufacturer of private label candles and home fragrance goods, are planning to establish a manufacturing operation right here in Fulton, Kentucky. Folks, they're going to invest over $5.2 million in getting this facility up and running. Now you talk about a commitment, and you talk about a belief in a community. Folks don't just walk up and invest $5.2 million in a community. They do it because they see a success story here. Honestly, they wouldn't be coming here if they didn't think they were going to be successful. Going to have a great facility, and more than anything else, they're going to have a highly skilled, educated workforce. That is so important these days. So important. Now, as excited as I am to announce a $5.2 million investment, I'm even more excited about another number associated with that investment. Because folks, they're going to eventually employ 150 full-time Kentuckians right here in Fulton, Kentucky. I want to congratulate the company officials, especially its CEO, Troy Propst, its Chief Merchandising Officer, Travis, and, of course, the real mover behind all of this, Mary. She runs the whole place, really. It's sort of like my wife. She's the real governor when it comes down to it, but she let me come today. I want to thank the whole family for this decision. As you all know, they have an operation over in Mayfield, and that has been very successful. They're already in the purchase area, and now they see a real success story here in Fulton. This is meaningful in a number of ways and for a number of reasons. It's always nice to recruit a new company to Kentucky, but it's especially important when you recruit a company that's already a Kentucky corporate citizen to make a new investment in Kentucky. That means that they chose West Kentucky for a second operation. That's a sign of real confidence in the Commonwealth and in this region and in our workforce. You know, those 150 new jobs, that's not just a number. And we need to take just a moment and think about what that really means. That's 150 Kentucky families who are going to be able to lay their heads down on their pillows at night with a lot more confidence that they're going to be able to put food on the table, keep a roof over their heads, send their kids to school, and provide a great quality of life for their family and for the friends and neighbors around them. And that's so important during this difficult economic time. They're going to occupy this 60,000 square foot facility here on Kentucky Avenue, and the state is proud to have been a part of this with some performance-based incentives through the Kentucky Business Investment Program. You know, since we overhauled those programs in 2009, we have used those tools to encourage more than 520 projects, representing an investment of over $5.7 billion throughout the Commonwealth. And as those companies follow through on those plans, those projects will create and save over 40,000 Kentucky jobs. Just around in these parts, those projects include Harold Coffee Construction Company here in Fulton County, nearby Graves County, ACE Compressor Parts and Service, Remington Arms, and World Tower Company. But you know, the incentives are only part of the attraction. Workforce, business climate, quality of life are big factors. So I want to acknowledge a lot of hard-working folks that have come together to make this happen. First Fulton Mayor Elaine Forrester and her city commission and others at the city. Let's give them a big round of applause for the hard work that they have done. Fulton County Judge Executive David Gallagher and his fiscal court and the other county officials. David Lattis, I saw here, Mayor of Hickman. Mayor, you and your city council, thank you for being a part of all of this. Greg, we don't want to forget Hickman County. Where is Greg? Right here, because they're partners in this. And that's what's making things like this happen, thanks to you and your fiscal court and all your folks too. Let's give them a round of applause. The Fulton County-Hickman County Economic Development Partnership. And Eddie Crittendon, Greg Grissom, I'll tell you what, these folks and your board are working awfully hard for you, and they deserve a big round of applause for that. Another partner in this is TVA, including Senior Vice President of Economic Development John Bradley and the Fulton Electric System. Let's give them a big round of applause. Of course, our Cabinet for Economic Development works hard on these things, but I especially want to congratulate the owners and executives of MVP. And let me say this in closing. I'm a St. Louis Cardinals fan. I come from West Kentucky, and, you know, it just kind of grew on me. But MVP to me means most valuable player. And I'll tell you, Mary, you all have become the most valuable player here in Fulton, Kentucky, and we just really appreciate your presence here. I've got a little present for you if you'd come up. Small token on behalf of the Commonwealth. We look forward to a great partnership here. Thank you.
Next, we'll have a couple of comments from some of the company folks, but first, Troy Probst.
Governor, thanks for all those kind words. We appreciate them very much, and thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us here today, because this is a day of celebration. I think the first thing we're going to celebrate is Go Green, energy efficient, quiet light bulbs in the future. You know, there's a lot of thank yous that we have, and fortunately, the governor and Eddie and everyone has done a great job of pointing all those people out. I want to actually thank Don Doris. Don Doris is with Economic Development of Mayfield, Kentucky. And when Don knew that he didn't have anything to support us in Mayfield and all the requirements that we needed, Don immediately picked up the phone and he executed the teamwork like you talked about. And we all know that with teamwork, greater things can be accomplished. So I want to thank Don Doris publicly today for doing that for our company. Eddie has been remarkable. Happy birthday. It's also our plant manager, Chris Hendricks in Mayfield, who happens to be here today. It's his birthday, too. Eddie went beyond the call of duty to really do everything in his power to make this deal happen. It didn't matter what time of day, what time of morning, weekends. He was there to answer every question, and trust me, we're very inquisitive people. And we appreciate you very much. The other person we have to thank today is my mother. MVP is her initials, Mary Vanderventer Probst. She knows many of you all in this room because, boy, it is good to be home. My brother's a graduate of Mayfield High School. I'm a graduate of Graves County High School. We both went to West Kentucky University. 14 years later, maybe 15, yeah. We're the largest private label candle manufacturer in the world. We wake up every day pinching ourselves. We have almost 3,000 employees worldwide. And it's all because of my mom's guts, grace, intelligence, fortitude, passion that we're here today. I could keep on going, but I'll cry, so I'm going to stop. You know, we did have choices in making this decision, but we're thrilled to be here. And we're here because my brother and our opportunities, Bruce Prince, who's in our midst today, is one of the people that goes out and handles getting contracts and sales. And this building is going to be for our contract manufacturing and premium candle manufacturing operations. And we've been blessed with the opportunity to have a growing business in such a difficult time. So when we were in the need of this building, my brother, who's really in charge of all manufacturing, product development, he knows more about candles than I ever will. He was so excited when he found this place because we do believe in Kentucky. We believe in the people that wear the K on their hats. Sorry if there's any Cardinal fans in the group. And Travis Probst is the other reason that we're here today. So I would like Travis to come up and speak a little bit about what this operation is going to entail, what we're going to be doing, and the timelines in which we're going to be doing it in. So thank you very much.
First of all, I want to say thanks to both my mom and my brother. It's very likely that when you go to work each day that you not only get to work at a great company, but you get to work with your mom and your brother. So I want to say thank you to them. First of all, I want to talk about this facility. Eddie, thank you again. I've never quite worked with anybody, and I'm in charge of these projects for our company, and I've never quite worked with anybody that is just ready to make it happen anytime, any day, and really I think we owe him another round because it was just amazing. And I want to give a thanks out to our team in Mayfield that's really helped me along this way. Chris Hendon, Josh, and their teams, guys, without them, it wouldn't be to where it is today, and we wouldn't have been able to have the opportunity. Talk about the timelines, and really what's going to happen is, when this facility gets to its peak manufacturing, we're going to be producing somewhere around 200 to 250,000 candles per day coming out of this facility for the premium independent market. And with Bruce's help and the team's help, we're extremely excited about it. And the one thing that's going to be is that we have to have this plant up and running by May the 1st. And look at Josh over there smiling, one of our head engineers, is because to make it happen, and this is why Eddie was so helpful, is that we have to be making candles on May 1st. And what does that mean for this great region is we're going to have a lot of hard-working people here ready to work. And that's what's the most exciting thing. With Tom Bing, our project manager here, he'll start to see a lot of people around Fulton. He's here at least for the next 2 years to bring this project to light. He has many, many years of candle experience, and that's what you need when you're starting a project like this. So if anybody ever wants to come by, Tom will be your guy around here. Wade, he's going to be definitely the person that is going to help us get it running at the speed we need. So what we want to do is we just want to say thank you to everyone. And at the end of the day, it takes team and it takes people. And our business is built from the hard-working people that work in our company every single day. And we all go back to the same values that was taught to us that actually come from my mom. And everyone here knows what those are. Because we get up every day, we thank God for what we have, and we work hard. And thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate those words. We've got a couple more people just to want to acknowledge the company. Next is our County Judge Executive David Gallagher.
This is a great day, one we look forward to for a long time. We started our partnership in economic development about 6, 7 years ago. Seems like forever. And one of the things I said at that time was there's going to be a lot of disappointment. And we've come close. We've been a bridesmaid how many times in? But now we're the bride. And it's a great feeling. It's a great day for us. And we're so thankful that you made this decision locating our camp. And we look forward to May 1st making these candles, putting people to work. I know as a judge, we want to see people working and paying taxes. I know that the mayor wants that same thing. We have great partners, and I certainly appreciate that. And I told the governor earlier when he came in that one of the things that has been so great is that his decision to go overseas and sail Kentucky, to put people to work, make that the goal. Because if we can grow jobs, and we're growing jobs at a pretty good rate, if we can grow jobs, then we can solve our economic issues, our problems of money and pension and all of that. We just need to have people working. So I thank the governor for his efforts in doing that and getting out and letting people know around the world that Kentucky's open for business. And we go next door and find someone to come in, that's even better. Keep our neighbors close by. I'm glad everybody's here today. And again, I want to thank TVA for their efforts in this, the Economic Development Cabinet, the governor, of course, and Eddie Crittendon for the hard work that he's done to make this happen. We are awfully proud of Eddie. It's a great decision we made to hire him a few years ago. He doesn't get a raise either. So we're glad he's with us. Thank everybody for coming.
Last but certainly not least is our City of Fulton Mayor, Elaine Forrester.
Thank you. It is indeed a wonderful day in the City of Fulton. We are so excited about this new industry and all the jobs that's going to come to the City of Fulton and this community. We just thank you for making this happen, and we look forward to helping you any way that we can. We're always here, just a phone call away. We got plenty of cards to give out, so make sure you've got one so you can call us. But we certainly want to help, and we are so glad you're here, and thank everyone for coming.
Troy, the mayor has something for you. It is one of those UK emblems. It's a Kentucky flag for your pole out front. Well, we come to the part of getting this to a close. We have a wonderful candle cake in the back. It's really neat. Need to look at it before we cut into it, since it is mine and Chris's birthday. We won't go first, but we'll save us a piece. But again, thank you all for coming. Most of you I've known my whole life. Most of us are friends and a lot of family in here. Troy, I'm going to make sure I say this. My mom's sitting right here, because you're talking about your mom. I better mention mine. If I don't, I'll be in trouble. But glad she took time to be here. But again, each and every one of you who are citizens of this county or the city, or even the adjoining counties, it's a great day for you guys as well. And it's not about us. It's about this company right here that's making an investment here in the city of Fulton, about the people that'll be working here, and you know, the experiences they'll make. I mean, a lot of people in this room have worked in manufacturing settings, and there's no better way of making a good family setting than being in those manufacturing. I loved it. It was a great time. Again, TVA, as well as Purchase Area Development District, State of Kentucky, and again, our governor, thanks for coming all the way down to be with us. We appreciate everything you've done for us. Again, before you leave, there's cake and punch in the back. One thing I want to say real quick, and I'm going to throw this out there. I want to say thank you to Mayor Eddie Cassidy from South Fulton, Tennessee. One of the very first times that I can remember that we had an event in the city of Fulton that we had an elected official from the other side of the state line here. That means a lot, and I really appreciate it. Okay, folks, thanks for coming. Really appreciate it. Stop by and get some cake and punch on your way out. Have a safe trip home.